Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me now. I'm getting meters on here saying that it should be there, so hopefully you guys are hearing me. Hopefully you're hearing the music too. If you're not hearing the music, this is kind of a waste. I'm not seeing that you guys are hearing music either. Awesome. Yes, yay sound from me. Are you guys, hopefully you guys are hearing music. No music. Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, hang on here. It's not going to be really loud, but it should be in the background. So, so this is what happened. See, I didn't stream last week, and the week before we'd had some major audio problems. So, yeah, that was the issue there. So let's really quickly do this, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the music shortly. And let's see if this is coming from where I want it to. And come on. Come on. It's taking its time. Done. You're sure what I was saying was great. You should hear some music now. I'm hoping you're hearing something behind me. It's nothing loud, but it should be there. No, so I was just catching you guys up on what was going on this weekend, which was we started Friday with the. It used to be called Live from the Kahuna Lair. Now we're calling it Kahuna Happy Hour with me and Mrs. Kahuna. Still no music. Interesting. Oh, yeah, it's not showing any music at all. Oh, well, maybe now. Maybe it was just too far. Just on an aside, GIMP is causing me heart palpitations. I have not had a chance to look at that that setting, but I think I remember it in my head. So hit me up on Kahuna Quiet tomorrow. I'll actually pop GIMP up on screen and show you where it is. So, yay, music. Cool. And let me know if it's too loud or if it's competing. So we started Friday with Kahuna Happy Hour. Then yesterday, Mrs. Kahuna and I started the next project in the Kahuna Lair. This, while we share it for a virtual classroom and by streaming area, it is also a guest bedroom. And at the moment, you can't put a bed in here. Well, you could, but we'd never get into the room. So I'm installing a Murphy bed. Mrs. Kahuna helped me to put together, to cut all the pieces for the Murphy bed. And that was pretty much all day yesterday. And today I started doing some of the assembly. I may finish it tonight or tomorrow afternoon. Oh, you figured it out. Okay, yeah. There's a setting that tells it that there's transparency. But I think you have to tell it to convert it and the number of bits and everything. It's a weirdness in GIMP. But usually ends up working. Yeah, so we're putting in a Murphy bed. I got the side rails that have the pivot mechanism. Those are built, and the base frame for the mattress is built. So now we're just looking at the rest of it. Good. I'm glad you found it, Rabbit, because it was a little tricky the first time I tried to import layers like that. It was like, what is going on? And then once you find it, it's like, oh, okay. And when you see it happen, you know exactly what to go and do and fix it, and then you can layer all you want. So awesome. I'm glad you found it. Tomorrow I will be doing something on stream during Kahuna Quiet, and that is, I can't remember if it was Daz or Dizzy. You have not broken your world timeline. I can't remember if it was Daz or if it was Dizzy that was looking at how I did blends across a banner of two images. And I will show you guys that tomorrow during Kahuna Quiet. It's not difficult. You just have to know what you're looking for and how you want to do it. But it's fairly simple to do. But I'll show you guys that tomorrow. It was Dizzy. Okay. Between Diz and Daz, I'm always confused as to which one I'm helping out at the time. I'm also going to be doing some more advanced mapping, adding in some rivers and ocean on one map, and it's been requested that I create a map that shows the wind and current information for the entire planet, so you guys can see which way the winds blow, how they, what the general weather patterns are, and that kind of stuff. So I will be doing that as well. Yeah, or at least not me. So we will be doing that. I want to give this just a couple more minutes, just in case Sable wants to send somebody over, because I will be reading stories. Also, by the way, I'm a little short on reads this week. I have one. So if you have articles you'd like me to read, drop them in the chat. And in fact, to kind of make things a little simpler, do an exclamation point, join, and then the link. And what that's going to do is it's going to build up a queue that I can look at, so I don't miss anybody. So yeah, go ahead and, if you want to add a link, exclamation point, join, JOIN, a space, and then your link, and that should put you in there, and I can take a look at your links and read them for you. Be glad to do that, because I only have one, so that's why I'm not rushing into reading, because I have one, and we will run out of things for me to read very quickly. The first one, let me see if I can't remember whose it was. I shall have a look. But they requested a specific voice, which you can do as well. It was from... I think it was Siobhan, but let me look. It is from Siobhan. So it's from Siobhan, and Siobhan requested Snape's voice. Severus Snape. So I worked on it. I actually worked on it last week, and then was feeling really badly on Sunday. So I took Sunday and actually Monday off to feel better. And but during the rest of the week, I worked on the Snape voice. It's not an easy voice to do, because there's a lot to it. There you go. Daz is on the queue. Excellent. Excellent. Why is it not? Oh, in a Picard voice. Ooh. Struggling with how to add forests and paths and such. Two ways to look at that. It all depends on the technological advancement of your culture. If it is a more advanced culture, paths, roads, etc. will be very much straight lines, because they're going to go from place to place, and if they can go through something, if they can go through a forest, they're going to go straight through the forest. The only time they're going to deviate is if there's a mountain or something that would be very difficult to machine through or to work through, but they're going to try to be as straight as possible. If, however, you're looking at a culture that is not as technologically advanced, then what you're going to have is more meandering paths. A lot of these paths are, they're still going to be relatively straight from point A to point B, but they're going to bend around, and they're also going to take the easiest path that, say, a cart or a vehicle drawn by an animal could traverse. So they are going to avoid big areas, and they are going to probably, through forests, they're going to meander through the easiest path through the forest. So there should be more irregularity to a path the less technology there is. So I'm wondering, I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. Daz is going to take out the dog for a quick bio break. All right, Daz, I'll wait till you're back. Why has Daz not shown up in the queue? That's interesting. In the queue there. Let me reload my queue. I'll just give it a couple more minutes here while I reload my queue. So, hope you guys have had a great weekend. We've been building, and I have some more building to do. Our first guests to be using it will be here on. Well, they're spending Friday night, so I've got until. Well, they'll be here for Thursday night as well. So, well, they're not staying Thursday night, but they'll be here Thursday night. Obviously, we're going to want to show them where they'll be staying. So, I basically have 3 nights after today to get things done. What I might just do is mark up a layer with additions and wait for you to get time. That's fine too. That's fine too. You mark up a layer. You can even just send me that layer, and I can use it as a reference and then go through and do my thing with it. There's Daz on the queue. Excellent. So I'll wait for Daz to get back, and then I'll start reading. Daz is back. All right. So the first one, like I said, this is an article that was submitted by Siobhan. And it is an article in their core agenda world. And the name of the article is Traveling Bards. And Siobhan requested that I do it in a Snape voice. And I'll tell you, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, Snape is tough. It's a very complicated voice. It's got a little bit of a sneer to it. It's deep. It's a little nasal. It's a little tricky. So if I don't get it right, sorry, I'm doing my best. But let's see what we can do here. So again, this is the Traveling Bards article from Siobhan's core agenda world. Traveling Bards. The traveling bards are made up of all the races. They form small cadres, or clans, as they like to refer to themselves. They spend the year traveling across the lands, spreading joy, news, and music to all they meet. They literally sing for their suppers, and a few coppers to tide them over on supplies for the journeys between towns. The size of the town determines how long they are able to stay. They must be able to live off the land in some aspect or another. The bards have an agreed-upon route and schedule for each year or two, at the end of which they meet up at a pre-designated area large enough to accommodate everyone. Once every 5 years, they have a grand showdown, where they have contests of skill, exchange news, songs, and sometimes even bards. The grand showdown lasts for a week, a 10-day, where romances can be kindled and clan allegiance built. Since we formed, the clans have grown ever larger, and there have been many splinter clans formed. We chose to keep the clans to 5 family units, but that doesn't mean a clan starts at 5. Oh no! It starts at 2 and grows from there. Every 3 or 4 showdowns, we need to start a new clan or 2. This year our numbers have swollen far more than expected. So here we go with 3 new clans, Ferret, Titwhistle, and Fox. The clan elder of Falcon, winners of the last showdown, to the assembled clans in the open commencement of the grand showdown, 1172 OTO. Family names they do not take family names, but clan identities. As each clan is formed, the members choose a name for their clan. This is so there can be a system for the protection of the clans and the traveling bards in general. Culture and cultural heritage. The traveling bards have rejected the idea that the parent races have on the topics of loyalty, possessions, and wealth. Though a bard troop or clan may accumulate vast fortunes, these monies always go for the betterment of the clan and bardic society as a whole. Since members of each race are represented in their numbers, they have a better understanding of the nations through which they travel and perform. Every once in a while, new members would join from the cities and towns they traveled through. These members are usually of an age to leave home. However, sometimes the young join as well. When this happens, the bards send word back to the parent about the defection of their child. The children do not usually wish to stay long, as they begin desiring to return home. When this happens, the bards seek out a merchant heading in that direction and pay for the child to be returned to their home or village. Merchants never shirk this duty for fear of retribution by the bards. Those children who choose to remain are accepted into the clan and taught all aspects of music, from creating original songs to playing multiple instruments. Shared customary codes and values. The bards all share the principles that their work is their own to share, with the world as they see fit. Traveling, they keep their eyes and ears open for those who may have the desire to join their ranks and way of life. Common dress code. You can always tell a bard by his bright-colored clothing. That, and they almost always have an instrument of some kind on hand. Common customs, traditions, and rituals. Common customs of the bards is living life to its fullest in everything they do. To them, life is to be celebrated at all times. Weddings within a clan, or across clans, are of major importance, as it strengthens the bonds within the community. The other major event which the bards celebrate is the birth of a child. Birth and baptismal rites. Whenever a child is born to a troop, they have a feast on the day of the birth, and then when they meet up with the rest of the clan, there is another feast for all the births which happened during the time apart. Common taboos. The traveling bards find the very idea of settling down in a village or town to be anathema, and thus it is a taboo. Settling down is fine, as long as it is away from society, and usually only done once a member reaches the point where they can no longer contribute to the clan or society as a whole. Common myths and legends. Bards have a reputation for child stealing, though this is not true, since they revere family values. Legend has it that traveling bard clan passed through a town and stole all the children in it. The town of Clareborn is this town. People and bards alike avoid this town. Clan names as of the Grand Showdown of 1197 OTO. Lark, the first and oldest clan. wolf, lynx, raven, cardinal, hawk, rabbit, nightingale, ferret, titwhistle, fox, thrush, and finch. Okay, that's the best Snape I can do so far. It took a while. Moonflower's here. Thank you, Sable, for the raid. Welcome all. I have been boarded. So let me scroll back real quick and see who got here. Let's see. Oh, look, a bot. Give me a second here to just make the bot go bye-bye. Oh, looks like it's already gone. Oh, no, there it is. Ben. Kapow. Ah, yes. Siobhan, welcome. I killed the bot. Bob, welcome. Moonflower, welcome. Who else is here? Of course, Sable. And I think I've got everybody here. Not too bad. Thanks. It's a real trick to do because you have to constantly think about all the different little pieces. I mean, about halfway through, it's like, oh, I'm not being nearly snide enough. But then you start to go snide and you lose the diction, and I'd have to work on him for a couple weeks to get it right. Well, thank you, Sable. And yes, I have banned the bot. All right, so the next one up is going to be Daz. And he wants it in a Picard voice. Ooh. Well, let me... Picard is almost Snape without the snippiness. I asked for a challenge. You're right, I did. And I you know what? I enjoyed it. It's one I will continue to work on. I love banning bots. It's fun. She. What did I say wrong? I apologize if I used the wrong pronoun. My sincerest apologies. Whoops. Oh, that would be why. Yeah, I try to use the right pronouns. Offspring number 3 is a gender neutral ace, so I try. I don't always get it. I'm old. Not an excuse, but I try. I think it's important. Daz's pronouns are she, her. Once again, I'm confusing Daz with Diz. Dazzy and Dizzy. Dazzly and Dizzly. You get it. My apologies. Dazzly is a typical female. Okay. I'm going to need a scorecard for you guys at some point. We can ask for Snape again now. Yes. Okay, so. Why didn't that work? What am I missing? Hey, Daz, I've got an issue in that I'm putting in that link, and it's bringing me back to the home page. Is that page not public? Because I want to read it. Let's see. Let me see. The world as of now. Let's see if it says there. It doesn't appear to be there. The summer camp article? I'm looking for it. Oh, did you oops it? Let's Try it again then. Nope, still popping me back to your homepage. Moved it into summer camp. Okay, if anybody who wants them read, type !join. Give it a space and drop it in there, because that way I have a queue and I will read it in the order and I won't miss anybody. So, !join, space, and then the link. Okay, so it's in summer camp. And it is called Great Stream Turtle. A great stream turtle. And I still do not see it. Daz, I don't. I apologize. So, if you've got another link, let me know. For the moment, I'll move on to Rabbids. This looks like it might be an Alliance article. So I'll read Rabbids now, and then I'll come back to you. That one looks like it's loading. Okay. Rabbit, did you have a particular voice you wanted to hear this in, or just read? Let me know. Let me look through it real quick. I already have a Picard error. Or a Picard request. So, I don't see any request for a voice. Let me scroll back up to make sure. Yep, I don't see it. I don't see a request for a voice. So, and there's Siobhan's next one on the list. So, Siobhan, I'll go back to Daz, and then we'll get yours read. All right, so let's read Rabbids. Alliance of the Principalities. The Alliance of the Principalities came out of the beginning of the War of Vengeance, when the Dwarven kingdom of Kerdarum attacked the kingdom of Avon. The Dwarven army ran through the defenses of the kingdom until they besieged and finally captured the capital city of Claygrave. With the defeat and death of the king, Arnis Rotsworth, the sons were left to sign away their right to the kingdom. In an apparent show of good faith, the Dwarven king, Thizrin Stormhammer, ordered the kingdom to be broken up into 4 principalities to be ruled over by the heirs to the throne. There would be a Dwarven overseer based in the old capital, but the principalities would, for the most part, be able to run themselves. While the original princes of Avon were still around, the dwarves were content to sit back and watch. When all the brothers disappeared, while on a pilgrimage, the dwarves sensed an opportunity and clamped down on the principalities. The dwarven representatives became a more significant part of the ruling. As the dwarven hand gripped tighter, the residents chafed under the pressure. The Alliance of the Principalities started as a behind-the-scenes movement, with secret meetings and missives passing down shadowy avenues. At first, the current Grand Dukes were kept away from any discussions to protect them from harm. As the conspiracy deepened and became active against dwarven interests, the ambassadors from Kerdarum demanded answers. As the unrest gained momentum, the dwarves found it harder and harder to keep control of the countryside. As the king of the dwarves felt his grip slipping, he exerted more pressure on the principalities to squash the troublemakers. While appearing to adhere to the dictates of the dwarves, the Grand Dukes reached out to the leaders of the underground and offered their official support. For the first time, there was a core to build cohesion around. The Grand Dukes could make sure the dwarves were misled, while giving the Alliance knowledge of where to strike next. Things were going well until the Church, which had been in the shadows since the Reckoning, came back into the light. Now calling itself the Path, it aligned itself with Caer-Darum. Seeing a way to distance himself, Thizrin Stormhammer decreed that the Path would be the political rulers of the principalities. This new development put the Grand Dukes at a disadvantage and led to a more vital link with the underground. As the Path started threatening the everyday lives of people, the 4 primary elemental cults rushed to join the Alliance. Together, the Alliance has been pushing back against the Church for 200 years, and they are determined not to give up until the Kingdom of Avum is once again whole. Cool. I like that. So, if I got it right, dwarves win the place, but they think, we'll let these people run their own thing anyway. And then the dwarves kind of go, yeah, no, not going to. So the Church decides to come in and start messing things up, and now nobody wants the Church around. This all sounds pretty accurate. All right, let's see. Let me toss this. So that's cleared out of the queue. Let's see what I got here. Oh, thanks, Moonflower. Appreciate it. Siobhan, I did get that one. And let's see, who'd you... Eliza Doolittle. I don't know if I can make it as... Now I can't remember her name. I will do it as Eliza Doolittle I can. It'll probably be closer to the Broadway version, which was Julie Andrews. Yes, I knew that. But I will try Eliza Doolittle. It's a Cockney accent, so it's not. It should be all right. Thank you, Moonflower, again. That's fair. Can I succeed? We shall see, Siobhan. We shall see. Nice. Thank you, Kaz, for the read. The new link now works. Just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait. Yes, I know the voice, so it's a matter of whether I can get high enough to make it sound female, not, a guy trying to sound female, a guy with a deep voice trying to sound female. I will do my best. Let's go back to Daz's. There is the link. Open. Oh, sure. There's a link on the wrong screen. Cool. One thing with having multiple screens is watching it throw the link in the wrong place. The Great Steam Turtle. And this one you said you wanted as Picard. All right. Picard. And the first voice isn't even in the reading voice. So, at least 2 voices here. And where did my mouse end up? There it is. There we are. All right, let's switch this over. Great Steam Turtle. Turtle ho! Look out in the crow's nest, yell down to the crew below, one arm waving at wildly at what looked like a barren island rising out of the sea. Cut the nets! Captain Redhill yelled to the crew of his fishing boat. By the gods, men, cut the nets and make all sail! Great steam turtles are sea creatures that never stop growing and never grow old. The only natural deaths they suffer are from disease and starvation that happened when they became too large to catch prey. The biggest and oldest great steam turtle ever found had a shell 1 mile long and half a mile across. The only thing that eats a great steam turtle is another great steam turtle, which is a very good thing, as otherwise the seas would be emptied of life, as they will eat anything and everything that moves in or on the water. The bigger a school of fish, algae bloom or plankton swell, the bigger the school of things that feed on them will be. It is the schools of bigger things that attract the bigger steam turtles. "Smoke!" the sailor called out gleefully as he sighted down his raylista at the enemy ship that had just disappeared in a cloud of white. His glee turned to shock as a great green beak opened wide, poked out of the cloud. The enemy ship held firm. With a thunderous crunch, the beak closed, crushing the enemy warship in one bite. "Turtle!" he screamed through the dread, sinking his stomach down to his ankles. Other sailors echoed his scream. "Where?" Commodore Starlake demanded. "Away the listers!" the captain yelled. "Clear the deck and make all sail! Helm full to port and catch the wind! The hallowed sabres catch that wind! From the battle no one won." Ships, not even fleets of ships, are safe from the great hungry steam turtle. From their nostrils they breathe out jets of deadly hot steam that billows as it cools, creating a blinding screen to slow the escape of any prey that manage to dodge the steam. Two great pouches in its neck can hold 4 uses of the steam. Young steam turtles tend to let all their steam out in one great attack, unless they learn to control it. Great steam turtles do not reach breeding age until they are 100 years old, and females then won't breed again for another 100 years. The females dive deep to the bottom of the oceans, to the hot acidic steam vents to lay their eggs, which are about 1 foot long. These eggs are incredibly tiny for such a massive creature, but they make up for it by laying many, many eggs. It takes a month before the eggs hatch. They will devour all the creatures living around their vent before filling themselves with the steam and making the long, long swim to the surface. "I will not marry into any pod that cannot afford a turtle egg feast for our wedding. I don't care how close to the king they are. The shame, father, the shame is too much." A young maiden, merfolk maiden, protesting who her father has chosen for her to marry. To the undersea folk, steam turtle eggs are considered blessed food, to be served for great momentous events like coronations and noble weddings. The search for the eggs can also be a means of a young royal heir of proving themselves worthy of the crown. The hunting of young steam turtles can also be such a test, though it is far more dangerous. Alrighty, great steam turtle. Now I want to see one of these guys. I want to see this big turtle that blows out steam. Sounds cool. I'm looking forward to that. Great steam turtle. I like that. All right. So let's that one is read. Again, if you want your article read, drop in exclamation point join, a space, and then the link. And if you want it read in a voice, add that in there as well. And that page is not reloading. Awesome. Okay. So now, Siobhan's article as Eliza Doolittle. Eliza's fun. Funny thing is that you have a Henry Higgins voice in there too, because then I'd have to bounce between the two. All right, let's see. Wow, everything's running a little slow. All right. House of Healing Landmark. All right. this up. By the way, how was Picard? How'd I do? Did I do okay? I hope so. Hope you guys are still around. I haven't seen any action in the chat for quite a few minutes. Let me refresh chat just in case. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Daz. Yep, there's chat. Cool. Picard's not as difficult. You just have to remember a couple little nuances that he does in some of the way he speaks. It's a very Shakespearean acting form, so that's his background. All right. So let's go back to this. It's the House of Healing. Oh, good. Lots of H's. All right. Let's see how I do here. Oh, man, there's a lot of H's. The House of Healing stood in the rear of the courtyard as the royal palace of Ericmark in the town of Ericsburg. The stone-walled lower floor faded into the upper wooden floor, interspersed with small wooden windows that could be opened to allow for airflow through the building. When the House of Healing was first constructed, its original purpose was as barracks to house the troops in the War of the Three Kingdoms. Once Sigmund convinced the Three Kingdoms to cease their hostilities and return to peace, they had originally enjoyed the barracks. It was converted into the House of Healing. Wounded from all sides of the war were brought here to be tended. The kingdom of Ericsmark became known for the healers who studied in the House of Healing. The first thing anyone practicing healing must do is wash. There is no reason to bring the outside inside, and I prefer to keep this house clean. Amarna, head healer and royal physician at the House of Healing in Ericsburg, 1201 OTO. Primary purpose of the House of Healing is an educational facility for healers and to attend the wounded. Those who travel to the House of Healing from other settlements usually return to their hometowns to practice the skills they trained in. The House of Healing has 3 different entrances. The main entrance for those who can walk in and bring stretchers through. The side entrance for the healers to enter the building and leave the outside. Attached to the side entrance is a washroom where the healer clean themselves before seeing to the infirm. The final entrance is designed for larger creatures such as dragons and livestock. The House of Healing rules. Number 1, cleanliness is important. Wash everything when you're done with it. Number 2, leave the outside. Remove your dirty boots and jacket and wash. And number 3, everyone is treated equally under the knife. Injuries are tended by severity, not personal preference. The founding date, 695 OTO. All right, that's as close as I can get to Eliza Doolittle because I can't do that high a voice. I have a hard time sounding female, and I probably should work on that because it would be a useful thing if I'm doing an audiobook. But hopefully that was close enough, Siobhan, I hope. Where are we at here? I've got time for 1 or 2 more. If anybody's got one, I don't have any in the queue at the moment. Otherwise, we can chat about whatever you guys want to chat about. I am planning in the near future, meaning, before the end of the year. Thank you, Moonflower. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. By the end of the year, I'll probably have stuff up, in case anybody wants to hire me for voiceover work. Not bad. Couple slips on the accent. Yeah, I would fall in and out of it sometimes. I haven't done that that one accent in a long time. So yeah, that was a little tough. So I apologize for the slips. Love my reads. Thank you so much. Thank you. They're fun to do. I actually look forward to Sundays because I get to stretch my voice training a little bit, and I also get to stretch my brain a little bit, trying to figure out how to get these voices in there, and I have a fun time with it. Tempted to place in my chicken article and have you read it in your best goblin voice. Ooh. Goblin voice. I don't have a specific goblin voice, so I'd have to see what I can do with that. That you surprised me with it. No prep time. Well, I asked for it, right? That's the fun part, is you ask me for it, and I try as much as I can to deliver. We're just here to have a good time, right? Uh-oh. Moonflower has put it in. All right. Let me copy this in. Oh, there it is. Couldn't get the whole link. Well, let me copy this in and take a quick peek at it and see what I can do for a goblin voice. The Ooster Chicken, a dual-purpose utility chicken. Oh, I will try to do something that's goblin-esque. All right, let's see what I can do here.
Ooster Chicken. Dual-purpose utility chickens. The Ooster Chicken is a medium-sized domestic fowl specifically bred to lay many eggs. It also has had success in providing meat and feathers to its owners. This fowl is raised for its eggs, primarily, but it is also used for meat and feathers. Ooster hens tend to lay 7 light brown eggs every 9-day week, putting their total amount per 365-day year at up to 283 or 284 eggs, depending on the hen. The hens from this breed tend to lay from 22 weeks of age until roughly 6.5 years of age, if well cared for. A hen that has just started laying will lay an average of 250 eggs per 365-day year, but the egg quantity will reach its normal by the time the hen reaches 1 year of age. The egg production of a hen will normally start to decline around the hen's 5th year laying. The hen will ultimately stop laying altogether after a year after the decline starts, which gives rise to the tradition of slaughtering once the hen reaches 5 years of age. The hens are traditionally slaughtered at 5 years of age, after its egg production starts to decline due to age. The roosters are traditionally slaughtered at 4 years of age, but many are let to live until 5 before their slaughter, thanks to the traditional slaughtering age of the hens. The owners of the roosters often wait the extra year from the traditional slaughtering age, so they can slaughter the entire clutch, the roosters and hens that came from the same group of eggs, at once. The Ooster Chicken is a very ordinary bird compared to the breeds of chickens found elsewhere. It has solid black plumage with a sheen of purple in the light. The fowl has a single red comb and 2 medium-sized red wattles with matching earlobes. The eyes of the chicken are a dark, beady black. The legs and beak are of a gray color. Ooster chickens are of a notably mild temperament. This usually causes little problem for their owners. The feistiest of roosters are only described as active instead of aggressive. Ooster chickens are commonly described as calm, friendly, peaceful, and sweet. Although this breed of fowl is known to be quite sociable, there have been shy individual fowl reported who've refused most contact with people and other birds alike. This shyness is seen as an undesirable oddity rather than the norm. Oyster chickens are not excessively broody nor excessively flighty, but they do enjoy roosting in high places, such as trees, which is a problem for those owners who do not have a top to their chicken runs. Oyster chickens are able to subsist off of forage alone, but egg quality and production levels increase greatly with Helemia's mass-produced specialized feed. The feed is made of alfalfa meal, flaxseed, dried kelp, fish meal, and ground oyster shell. The alfalfa meal, fish meal, and ground oyster shell is commonly provided combined and in pellet form, with the flaxseed and dried kelp separate, and simply mixed in before refilling the food dish. Different specialized feeds are produced and used in different areas of the world, but for oyster chickens in particular, Helemian feed has been shown to be the best, due to Helemia being the chicken's place of origin. Oyster chickens are to be fed with an open feeder system, where food is constantly available. Water is to be provided plentifully for optimal health of the chickens. Oyster chickens thrive in groups of 3 or more, with ample-sized coops and runs. The minimum size for a coop is 3 chickens in 3 square meters, with an additional 1 square meter added for every additional chicken. Each hen must have its own nesting box, with an additional nesting box for every 5 chickens, being a good choice, or squabbles among the hens will certainly ensue. Beams just below the ceiling of the coop are recommended to satisfy the chickens' want for high spaces to roost. Oyster chickens enjoy time spent outdoors, although their outdoor space does not need to be particularly large. Half a square meter is ample room for a single chicken to roam, with 1.5 square meters being a good space for 3 chickens to live and thrive. Predation is a large concern amongst oyster chicken owners, as the birds are too calm and friendly to know to defend themselves or run until it is too late. As predation is a concern, it is recommended to both have fencing and top wiring on the run and a securely closed cooping loop. Predators of the oyster chickens include hawks, eagles, owls, other predatory birds, foxes, bears, specifically the Akio bears found in the Dotak Mountains, and wolves. The predators that most commonly prey upon these birds are the birds of prey and foxes that can live in urban areas.
Whew! All right, I hope that was goblin-y. I hope that was goblin-y. Yeah. Usually when I hear weird voice, when someone says kind of weird voice or goblin voice, the one thing I try to do, oh, thank you, Daz, is pick out a couple of words that voice would make different. In this one, chickens was one of them. I wanted to make sure chickens. It was chickens every time. It was just extra pronunciation on chickens. Coop was another fun one. And oyster. To give it, because every time they do that ooh sound, I wanted to raise it up. Thank you. That ooh, by the way, comes from, believe it or not, there's a hockey announcer who every time somebody shoots says, he shoots! And that has stuck in my head forever. So every time I hear ooh and I need to make a funny sound, it's ooh. And he shoots, coop, loop. I'm not going to alliterate anymore because that could get nothing. No more rhyming. We're going into a realm I don't want to go into. Let's see. Where are we at? So we're almost at the end of the hour. I should check to see where we are. I think we're at about 52 or 53% of the goal to hit for me to go 2 hours. And we've got like 20 days left or 15 days left. So you can serve up Kahuna crowns anytime you want, including during Kahuna Quiet. Also, during the week, if there's an article you'd like to see read, go on my Discord server, and I should. He swooped the poop from the scoop. He scooped the poop from the coop. Yep, that's kind of where I was going. Join my Discord. Go in, and you'll see a Kahuna Reads channel. If during the week you want it read, drop a link in there, and drop the voice you want me to do it in. The earlier you put that in, the more work I can put in getting the voice right. 65% with 18 days left. Yeah, so, and you can drop it in anytime. Any of my streams, you can go in and just drop in some Kahuna crowns. 66%. Awesome. We're getting there. Mrs. Kahuna's not keen on the idea yet because she doesn't know when exactly it would happen. It's probably going to mean that dinner runs an hour late. But we'll get there. We've already kind of made the live from the Kahuna Lair stream, now the Kahuna Happy Hour stream. We've kind of already made that 2 hours, just because we have a really good time with that. If you're looking for just having fun, that's the Friday stream, same time as this one, 4 o'clock Pacific time. And we have just a hoot of a time. Because we listen to the chat and we discuss, and the discussion could be just about anything. You guys can bring up stuff, we can bring up stuff. It's all over the place. We've had discussions that are writing critiques. We've had discussions that, Mrs. Kahuna being a teacher, middle school teacher, we often have stories of what has happened that week for middle school stuff, and we just have a great time. By the way, you just the link that just popped up in Strap, the Synergasia thing. Yes, drinks. Going to Quencher, telling you. The Synergasia article, if you guys are not part of that or not aware of it, worldanvil.com/w/Synergasia, just like it's spelled right there. Okay, Mrs. Kahuna tells tales out of school. Yes. That's kind of it. We leave all names out of it. And if someday they actually watch the stream, they might recognize themselves, but, such as it is. But if you're not part of Synergasia, give it a shot. We still have room for some authors in the current incarnation. In one of our behind-the-scenes meetings yesterday, apparently Demetrius at World Anvil, he saw I had my Synergasia background up, and he saw it and goes, "Why do you have a Greek word on the screen?" I said I was waiting to see how long it would take for you to figure it out. And explained that Synergasia in Greek means cooperation or collaboration, and that's exactly what this world is. So we're really, I gotta say, I am so amazingly impressed with what our authors have been doing. Right now, we only opened up the writing portion. Gave about week to week and a half ago, but in that world already, in roughly 8 to 10 days, the amount of writing that has been done is insane, because we only have 12 authors, and 2 of those weren't there until Thursday. So technically they really couldn't start writing for it until Friday. And let me real quick take a look and see where we're at, but I want to say we're somewhere, last time I looked, we were somewhere in the 20,000 word range, which is just absolutely crazy. Let's see, statistics. Come on. But it's a fun thing where we are, you know, we're building a world, but everybody gets their own region and gets to do what they want with it. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see, right now, no, not that article. There we go. So right now, holy moly. Okay, so a week and a half. There are now over 31,000 words written in this world by 10 to 12 authors. Moonflower, there's no real try. Oh, see, now you made me go to another voice.
There is no try. There is only do. Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, 31,000 words. You don't have to try. All you have to do is you go and check out Synergasia and then send in your first, your response to the first prompt, which is actually, you put it in as a comment on the article that's linked above. And that's basically to tell us what you're looking for in a world. We have plenty of spaces available. We can have up to 25 authors at a time in the world. Right now we're at 12. So plenty of room, and we also have plenty of spaces on the world itself. We have 20 regions available, so we should be able to accommodate pretty much any interest you have in when it comes to era and genre that you want to write in. Yeah, 31,000 articles. I am so proud of you guys. This is so amazing. You know, Bob and I will write, but this is not our world to write in a sense. I mean, my big thing is I'm trying to make sure that you guys can have a world that you really enjoy, and that looks as pretty and as unique as it can be. We have 14 now? What did I miss? I'll have to look. I thought we were at 12. Let's look here. Let me do a quick count. 5 or 5. No, it's 12. No, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. 13 now. So everybody's got their access. Here I am doing my homework on it. Yeah, 13 authors. Well, yes, we count as authors, but then technically in the world you can have 27 authors. So if you take Bob and I out of that, we can have 25 and 13, because Bob and I are acting more like organizers of this, evangelists of this, than we are actually writers. We'll actually put some stuff up there, and most of the stuff that we are writing and creating is going to be how the world itself works and how to do stuff within it. Like I'm writing some articles that are going to be how to do the CSS and that kind of stuff. So I don't count myself as an author because I'm not writing stories in this. I'm writing, hey, here's how it works if you want to do this. We did get a hint that something might be coming that'll make Synergasia even better and easier for our authors to work in. I can't speak to what it was, but let me just say that it will make it'll make it easier for you to be able to have the world look the way you want it to look. And that's about as, yeah. And all Bob's doing is writing prompts and rules, basically. You know, here's how the world works. Editors of the bullpen. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Except we're not even editing. I mean, we're kind of more like the editor-in-chief kind of thing, where we're just kind of saying, all right, here's your space, fill it. Fill it, we'll help you out if you need it. But we want to see, what did Dimmy think of the project? He has subscribed now to Synergasia. He had actually not heard of it somehow. He's like, what is this Synergasia? I gave him a link. He has subscribed to it. So if you guys want to get a little bit more visibility, make sure that when you publish an article, you click notify followers. That does two things. One, anybody who's following our world will get a notification so they can see the latest article. But two, it also puts your article onto the recent articles list. If you do not notify followers, it does not go onto the recent articles list, so people won't know that you published anything. You have to do that manually. It does not do it automatically. They used to do it automatically, and then somebody would go in and make a quick change and hit save, and it would notify all their followers. So if they were making 7 changes in one day, the followers were getting hit 7 times with these changes, when all it was maybe fixing a typo. Now that we have autosave, you really can't let that happen. So you have to manually tell it to notify followers. If you do that, then you will be put onto the recent articles queue. I got to tell you right now, that recent articles queue moves fast. I'm going to try to see if there's a way we can fix that. Let's see. CSS would love to figure out turning pages for an article. I will tell you, Siobhan, I've looked into it a little bit. I'm going to look into it further. The biggest problem I see with that is most of the solutions I've seen require JavaScript, and we are not allowed to use JavaScript at all. And the reason is security. JavaScript can really be used in a malicious way, and so it's safer not to allow it. But if we can do it straight through CSS, and there may be a way to do it using animation, CSS animation, I'm looking into that. But unless we have to, if we have to use JavaScript, we won't be able to do that particular effect. Are we going to get a badge? You really want a badge? I'm giving you a region. What will we make badges for? Just that you are part of Synergasia. Dimmy might choose that. He might, I'm hoping at some point the world gets featured on the front page so that people can see what we're doing. Your articles hopefully will get featured. But yeah, I'm not sure. Badges come from World Anvil, but we could certainly create a Synergasia badge that you could put on your pages to say, hey, you're part of the Synergasia project. Yeah, I guess I could knock one of those out tomorrow. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe even an animated GIF. Has light and stuff. What do you think about that one? We could be using it as a streaming logo. All right, I'll make a badge for you. So tomorrow I have to add rivers and lakes to one map. I have to create wind currents and ocean currents, and now a badge. Take your region, save it to your computer, then upload into your files. I'm missing what that was the answer to. Yeah, you do need to do that. All the regions, the base regions are there. They are uploaded in the Synergasia world. So you can use it that way. There says a badge. That will take me at most an hour or two. Oh, sure. Yeah, says him. Right up until Mrs. Kahuna needs tech support. Yeah, I mean, we can do some of that stuff. I will play around with it tomorrow. I want something that, especially if we make it an emote, I want something that can that will read easily. So maybe I'll just abbreviate it on an emote to SYN and make everybody wonder. So, it's, yeah, well, Synergasia, if you're not involved, get involved. We've got plenty of room. More bling. More bling, that's right. Let Parent 1 or Parent 2 help. Parent 1 or Parent 2. Oh, you mean Mrs. Kahuna? Oh, no. She doesn't trust parents. Trust me. Oh, you're referring to those Parent 1 or Parent 2. Yeah, no, they're not helping with anything. They are so not helping with anything. All right. I'll do it. I'll create a badge. You guys can do with it what you want. Okay? There'll be a Synergazia badge before I finish tomorrow. Yes, I finally got that, Siobhan. Yeah, the patterns from Friday. Yeah. Yeah. We don't want their help. They've been enough as it is. Can't decide between modern fantasy or swords and sorcery. Here would be my advice on that. Stapled to my forehead. My advice on whether you want to do modern fantasy or swords and sorcery, don't worry about it. Just create. I always get puzzled by folks who really want to pigeonhole themselves into one genre. I will tell you that my personal world that I'm working on is, you could call it fantasy, but there's a sci-fi element to it. There's a high technology element to it. You haven't seen all of those stories yet, but all those elements are there, and I'm not going to limit myself to what story I tell because of a perceived genre. Don't do it to yourself. Write. If it goes one direction, great. If you like, you know what, this really needs this component, throw it in. If it makes sense in A, your world, and B, your storytelling, then great. There's no need to worry about it. Don't pigeonhole yourself. Write what you want to write. Let somebody else figure out the genre. Okay? Make it consistent to your world and to your storytelling. That's what's important. You know, if you've got a sword and sorcery thing going on, but there's an alien being from another planet, okay. It's your world, your rules. Do what you want. You don't need to create don't confine yourself to one genre unless you absolutely want to do that. I'm just going to put fantasy. Yeah, start for that. That's for your publisher. Exactly. When you write a story, the people who, if you publish it, with a big company, they'll decide where on the bookshelves it goes. Not you. You need to just write the story. And write a story that you are happy with. Sounds like recluse. Sounds like recluse. You lost me. Those two zones border each other, so we can assign a region and see how it pans out. If we need to move the curtain, we can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bob's right. The thing is that, yeah, we put in these temporal curtains, and nothing says they can't move. In this case, me and Bob make the rules on that one. So if something works out, great. We move the temporal border. Awesome. You guys can do what you need to do. We have plenty of space, and we can figure out how to make it work on the world. The only reason we ask you for a quote-unquote genre is so that we can put you in the right portion of the world. But look, if it's fantasy, it's fantasy, and we'll put you near somebody else who is fantasy so that there can be interaction. But if you want to try to interact with someone who is, post-apocalyptic, you can do that too. Temporal curtains are temperamental. Yes. And dangerous and unpredictable. Especially if they come from some, force beneath the surface of the planet. And we don't know what that is. And this planet is, got tectonics that happen. So, things change. So, I think at this point, I'm going to, before Mrs. Kahuna starts yelling at me that I'm late for dinner, I think we're actually doing tacos tonight. Taco salad. Taco salad is what we're having tonight. And I'm totally okay with that. Last night was pizza, and pizza not good. Pizza no good to you. So before she starts yelling for me to come down, I think I'm going to call things quit plate tectonics and temporal tectonics. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And, they're kind of correlated. as opposed to correlated, which is something else. Let's see. Let's see where we want to go today. Because all you good people deserve to be sent off to someplace that's also interesting. So yeah, join the Discord. Let me put that link in one more time. Yeah, my body is fighting the pizza as I get older. I actually had to stop using tomato sauce, and I ordered Alfredo sauce instead, which actually to me tastes really good. It gives it even more of a cheese flavor. Yeah, the tomato sauce, I just had to stop. Oh, apparently we have 8 more seconds until I can put that in. Oh, is it Davina? It is. Davina, you guys, Davina's got a cool set of worlds, and she is incredibly talented, especially in CSS. If you want to see what are the things you can do in CSS, Davina's worlds are awesome. And it looks like she's doing building a culture the easy way. You know what? That doesn't suck. So let me make sure I've got Davina's handle here correctly. It is Davina Androin. Okay. All right. So we're going to send you over to Davina. If this ever catches up with me. All of a sudden now everything has slowed to a crawl. Oh, there we go. Davina Androin. And I misspelled it. I misspell it every dang time. Androin. Davina Androin. Cool. Sable, thanks for coming, and thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it. All you guys are always so awesome. Let me try that Discord link one more time because it said I had to wait 8 seconds. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so if you want me to read, go over to my Discord, join there, go into the Kahuna Reads channel, drop your link, drop a voice you like to hear it in. I will do my best, and we go from there. I hope you guys have a great week. I will be back on tomorrow morning for Kahuna Quiet. Obviously, I have some work to do, as requested, including a badge. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great evening. Give Davina a big aloha when you get there. And thanks for coming on the stream. I really, really appreciate you guys giving me your time and letting me do my stuff for you guys. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye now.